5 of Dallin Schott. That's how they're going to line up. And once again, keep an eye on those guys at the back of the field because they want to be the ones to advance and pick up those critical passing points. The East Bay Raceway Park pace truck is in the back straightaway, approaching turn 3. We'll begin to pick up the field a little bit later on, but the critical point is in turn 4, where the truck is approaching. You'll see a cone down on the inside of that racetrack. That is the starting point for these races. The front row is required to be side by side at that cone. The call's been made to bring the field together here. We'll get a quick look and make sure everybody is in position. We are expecting 10 cars. It doesn't look like we're going to be disappointed in this one, as we do have 10 cars on the racetrack. The light has been turned out, and now it's responsibility of Ricky Peterson Jr. and the Jack's Redline 22J. Side by side, they need to be at that starting point down here in turn 4. The cars have ample opportunity to turn off the racetrack. If there's a problem, they can go into the infield. But now this field of 10 cars gets ready to go to compete at 8 laps to see who's going to move on to the A-Main. Here tonight, heat race number 1 is underway. From the inside, Peterson takes advantage of the front row. It's A.J. Maddox in the 3A coming up second. Here comes Matt Kurtz up to third. Kurtz started this race on third. He's holding on to third. Meanwhile, Riggins in the 47 moving up. Eric Riggins started 9th. He's now up to 4th position. On the outside, Dan Nanticoke in the 15 trying to gain ground. Here comes Ben Brown below in the 7B. Nanticoke hustles it into turn 3, still trying to take that outside line away from the 22J of Redline. He picks up a position. Gates looks for racing room. Brown on the bottom trying to make something happen. It's still the Jack's Redline holding on to his spot as Gates tries to take the high side, all chasing your race leader, Ricky Peterson Jr. Now Brown's going to slide by and gain a position. Maddox runs second. Kurtz is third. We're coming to the halfway mark. There's your race leader, Ricky Peterson Jr. A.J. Maddox closing second. Third is the 92 of Matt Kurtz. Peterson's built up a little bit of an advantage now as they make their way by. Into the second half of this one. Peterson running strong on the line that he wants to run. Drops it down to the bottom now as Nanticoke in the 15. He's held on to 5th ahead of the 6 of Gates in the 7B. They're running the 6 and 7, running in their spots. Not going to help them much. They're not making much room in passing. 2 laps to go in this one. There's your race leader, Ricky Peterson, who sees the white flag. Peterson hustling it now, catching up to the backside of the lap traffic. Steve Glover right in front of him. Peterson working that wheels. He goes into turn 3. He'll come off the corner with coverage. He's going to take the victory. Ricky Peterson in car 2. Second is A.J. Maddox in the 3. Third will go to the 92 of Matt Kurtz. So Peterson picking up the win, coming up from the pole. Meanwhile, Matt Kurtz had started the event in 3rd. Eric Riggins making the big move because Riggins came from the 9th spot up to 4th position. So he picked up 5 spots there. A.J. Maddox started the event in 4th but ended up 2nd, so he made a couple of positions, and that's going to help him in the passing point situation. So our second heat event makes its way out onto the racetrack. as the first 8-lapper is completed now here. So let's just see what we have as far as the lineup goes. Again, looks like this racer, a couple of drivers a little deep that did well in the hot laps. On the pole, it's going to be the 22S of Pleasant Hill, Missouri's Slater Helt. On the outside of him, Zane DeVault, driver of 7D out of Plymouth, Indiana. Row 2 to the inside, second-generation racer, Top Gun regular, 41 car of Luke Hill. And on the outside, 3-time Top Gun Sprint winner in the 2022 season, the 24 of Danny Martin Jr. Aaron Reitzel in car number 8, now racing out of Knoxville, Iowa, lines up in the 5th spot. Outside of him, Ryan Smith in the 10X. He'll go in the 6th position. From the Tuttle, Oklahoma area, the car number 2C of Wayne Johnson. And outside of him, from Corning, New York, that's Andrew Jacobus, car number 7. You have Chris Martin from Ankeny, Iowa's car 44 on the inside of the final row, and Dade City resident and racer Garrett Green in car 82. Several-time feature winner here at East Bay Raceway Park. The Garrett Green will start in the 10th position. Push-off given, and we see Danny Martin Jr. first to fire in turn 3, and we'll start bringing them around. There goes the car 22S of Helt. He's rolling. We've got the 10X of Ryan Smith ready to go for the battle here today. Wayne Johnson about to be pushed off in the back straightaway, and there you see the car 7X of Andrew Jacobus from Corning, New York. Jacobus trucking car number 7. Joining the field now, coming off turn 4, is the car 2C of Wayne Johnson. Right behind him, that is actually the 82 of Garrett Green, new scheme on the 82. Aaron Reitzel now pulls away from the push truck. Tough week for Aaron Reitzel so far. Hopes to bounce back in the remaining 3 shows here in the Fulkins Toyota Ridge sponsored, Mobil One sponsored entry. So we'll begin to form up the field behind the East Bay Raceway Park pace truck. Looks like we might be missing a driver here. As Johnson, nope, we've got our 10 out there. No, it looks like we are missing one car here. 9 cars out there now as Luke Hill in the car 41 not on the grid. 8 laps, heat race, 2 of 6 right now. Race control telling them, reminding them where the starting point is. Let's look for a good start this time. We've got a green flag. On the outside, Zane DeVault in the 7D takes the lead down the back straightaway. He's being hustled around by Slater Helt. Here comes Danny Martin Jr. Martin slides up into second. In the black 24, Martin will go to the bottom right away, lose a little bit. That's going to give DeVault a chance to take that lead back. And Martin has the inside run as they go to turn 3, contact. DeVault hangs on to it. Martin bumped up a groove. Martin going to settle in for another shot. And meanwhile, Ryan Smith in the 10X pulls up on Slater Helt's 22. Martin trying to come from 4th to 1st and's got to run off turn 4. But DeVault on the outside is going to prevail. Zane DeVault leads the way. Chasing second is Danny Martin. Away goes the tear-off. Martin settles down to the bottom, trying to charge in turn 3. Look how close that is. You can't get much closer without a permit. Danny Martin Jr. takes over the lead. 4 laps on the scoreboard, and now Slater Helt trying to move up on the 7 of DeVault. Martin is pulled away. Helt tries the high side, goes to the bottom, nothing there. DeVault able to hold his line as now Ryan Smith in the 10X comes charging up. Smith looking for his way to get by and pick up a position. He started back in the 6th spot. Good battle for second now between the 7 of DeVault and the 22S of Slater Helt. 2 laps to go. The white flag out for your race leader, Danny Martin Jr. Good battle back there 5th between Johnson and Reitzel. And now problem for Helt. He goes off the bottom to the top. That allows Smith to make his way through. Ryan Smith powers up the second. Checkered flag is out for Danny Martin Jr. Second will be the 10X of Ryan Smith. Ryan Smith on the last lap taking advantage of the miscue by the 22 of Slater Helt. Was able to get by him and then make that pass to the inside of Zane DeVault and come away with second. But your winner in the car 24, the Tinsley Farms Shaw Racing entry, the win goes to Danny Martin Jr. Martin started in the 4th position. Smith started in the 6th spot. So that'll tell the tale when it comes to passing points. As Martin makes another lap to allow the congestion down here in the tech area to thin out a little bit. So Martin making his way now down to the tech shed where he's going to watch and see how it goes, see if he's got enough points to get himself directly into the A main, makes that left-hand turn and finds himself down at the watchful eyes of the tech staff. Heat race number 3 wastes no time in getting back out onto the straightaway here. The equipment pushing them out there. We'll get our push trucks back there as we get set to see who we have for this 3rd of 6 heat events for tonight. Here's how we'll line them up. Look at this. He was one of the faster guys out there as he had his car number 24X tuned up. That is Terry McCarl in the 24X, who's going to be starting on the inside. On the outside of him, another 24. The 24T, and the T's up inside the number. That is Christopher Thram. Thram out of Sanborn, Minnesota. Row 2 to the inside, no panic, Davey Franick in car number 28F. He's from Sussex, New Jersey. On the outside of him, the 27 of second-generation racer Carson McCarl. You have Connor Morrell in car number 28. He is out of Palmetto. It's the green car number 28M, while the car 22X is Shane Redline from Amarillo, Texas. 2020 track champion here at East Bay Raceway Park, Steve Diamond Jr. in the car number 9D out of Apollo Beach, while Garrett Williamson in the car 24W will start in the 8th spot. Starting 9th, the 88N of Vickery, Ohio's Frank Neal. The final starting spot is New York racer Parker Evans. So we have 3 number 24s. We have 2 number 28s. So apologize in advance for the confusion when it's going to happen. It's inevitable. So we'll just kind of sit in here and see what takes shape as we get these cars pushed off. Just 4 cars needing a little bit of help to get there. And we'll get this 3rd heat event lined up. So at the early juncture of this one, it appears that we do have all of our cars that we are expecting. So the field now starts to form up behind the East Bay Raceway Park pace truck as We have a quick turnaround here, and we'll quickly get ready to go with this one. As it is McCarl the inside in the 24X, the 24T of Thram on the outside. You have the second row with Davey Franick in the 28, the 27 of Carson McCarl. The green 28 of Connor Morrell will be on the inside of the third row with the 22X of Shane Redline. Diamond in the 9, the 24 of Williamson, the 88 of Neal, and the 61 of Evans. Let's get ready for the action. Quickly is a problem as the 61 of Parker Evans into the wall in turn 1, rolls over, so red flag is out for the Parker Evans tumble in turn 1. Great camera work upstairs. Caught that as the car was on its way into turn 1. Could see right away that that was going to be a problem. We were watching as the 24 of Terry McCarl had taken the immediate lead here. Davey Franick in the 28 trying to find some racing room. It dropped down low, but safety crews quickly on the scene for the racer out of New York, Parker Evans. And Parker Evans climbs out of the race car unassisted. Obviously very, very disappointed with the turn of events. He's getting his helmet on, walking with the safety crews. So meanwhile, the tow truck will be going to the attention. Parker obviously very concerned about the status of his race car. And will make his way into the pit area while we'll get the tow truck out to take care of it. So tough start for the week for the 61 car of Parker Evans racing out of Appalachian, New York. Take another look at it for those of you watching on Flow Racing. You can see the field going by, and Evans catches the backside of the 9D, actually. He caught the right rear of Steve Diamond's car, and that put him, with his left front, that put him up into the air, and that's what led to the incident. So it was just contact between those two cars that resulted in it. Looks like we're going to utilize Tim George and his Venice Wrecker Service rollback here tonight. Tim George, a multi-time track champion as well as a former Top Gun Series champion. The Venice Wrecker Service will now go to work to take care of that car 61. No laps completed in the third heat event for tonight. This is the final race that was scheduled for 10 cars. The remaining races are scheduled to have 9 cars. All of them will continue to be 8 laps in distance. A total of 6 heat races for the 360 sprints, while we will have a pair of Mod Light heat races.